Welcome to Fairbanks, Alaska. Hi everyone, welcome to RV Afterlife. Usually I try to keep my videos in line based on where we're at, so we have a chronological order, but now this is the second time that we've done a special edition. And I'm not sure how many episodes it will be. We are in Alaska, like a bucket list trip of both land and sea here. Roger said tell you we're in Fairbanks. Yeah. And we are joined this week by my wonderful sister Gita and her handsome son, handsome husband Ernie.
Got it.
And so we're going to see a lot of Alaska together. Right now we're in Fairbanks, Alaska, and what did you think of that trip?
It was long. From Memphis to Alaska, we stopped over in Minneapolis, had a couple hours to walk around. Then we got back on another plane and headed for Fairbanks, Alaska. 5.5 hours later, we're here. Sunlight at 10:30 at night. Again, sunlight at 8 o'clock in the morning. So
I don't think it went down.
I don't think it did either.
Well, we are staying at Pikes Lodge, and I'm going to do some snippets and show you this beautiful lodge. It is right on the river. We are at the back of the lodge right now, and there's
Posing
just
with some of our best friends.
yeah, our best friends.
Yes.
Bears and
Lions and tigers
yeah.
and bears.
So we are excited to be here, really excited to share this with family, and so we'll take you along. These life-size carvings are just dying to take pictures with you, so of course we had to oblige them, and here's Gita and Ernie holding up the Love Alaska sign. If anybody's got the rhythm to play this, it's these two. Gita, I thought that was a microphone.
No, it's a xylophone. Come to find out, there's no hello.
Silo, not micro.
Oh, silo.
Not silo, xylophone. She's saying microphone.
That's gonna be the
Honey, oh, do you want to do two and a half?
You wanna jam and jam and
Keep going, baby.
That's what's called inhibition.
I can do that. Oh, I can do it.
This is not just an old lodge. Wait till you see it. And of course, I took a million pictures of Gita and Ernie that week. This is the Chena River that runs through Fairbanks, Alaska. And this is probably something we've never seen anywhere else. This looks like it's probably a sled run in the wintertime. Goes down this hill right out onto the lake. This is where we stayed on the first two nights, both nights in Fairbanks. Pikes Lodge, or Travel Lodge. When I heard Travel Lodge, I thought it was just like some old junky hotel, but it is way cool, beautifully appointed. They even have little cabins you can see off to the right. Pretty good size hotel. I'll show you around the inside a little bit. Beautiful lobby, well done, lots of art. They have several of these cute little lounges. I love those Bombay chests, but neat art and artifacts. Comfortable places to sit, play games. We have really enjoyed it here. This, of course, is the closest I'd ever care to be near any of these animals, but they were quite impressive in the lobby of the hotel. We've already moved into this room, so it's it's lived in right now. But we saw reviews online that said that the rooms were really small, but not at all. I mean, very nicely appointed, as well as the restroom. Again, we've already moved in, but you can see even how large the restrooms are, and ours is not even a handicap room, but it has a walk-in shower. The Alaska pipeline is over 800 miles long. half of it is underground. It was approved by President Nixon in 1972, but the construction didn't start until 1975. He is standing flat-footed, not on his tiptoes. This is a good depiction of where the pipeline is. We were told that Alaska is 3 times the size of Texas. This pipeline goes through 3 mountain ranges. Okay.
This little gizmo here is called a pig. It's used to clean out the inside of the Alaska pipeline. They put them in at pumping stations, and it runs the whole distance from pumping station to pumping station, cleaning out the inside.
This is probably one of those attractions that we would not have even bothered with, but being part of the tour bus, this is called Gold Daughters, and this is a family-run project that was started by 2 daughters of John Reeves. They grew up mining for gold. Their dad now owns more land in Alaska than anybody else in the state. And his 2 daughters, out of college, decided to start this business. And so they bring in dirt from their different claims. And I don't remember how many claims she said they have. And so people can mine and actually do find gold here. The other thing is just a real surprise. One of those gold claims produced thousands of fossils, and I'm going to take you inside this dome. When her dad bought this property, this dome was actually located somewhere else. They brought it here and reconstructed it, and now they have an amazing display of woolly mammoth and other large mammal bones or large animal bones from the Ice Age. This is pretty exciting. And all of the rusted equipment from the pipeline construction is because she said her dad just likes old stuff. By the way, there is going to be a documentary coming out soon on Amazon called Boneyard, Alaska, that tells the story of this whole research and discovery. These are just some of the fossils that they have found on their private digging plane. She said that they have found as much as 100 fossils a day. This is a mammoth molar. And who doesn't want their picture taken with a molar? I can't even imagine how exciting it must have been to come across stuff like this on a dig.
Look at that big old bone.
That is amazing.
Yeah, that shows you how big he was. That's just a little thing.
This makes me think of the way Roger used to say, just big bone, really.
That's pretty dry dirt. But after that, you're going to start, I call it our technical term, it's called shaky, shaky, dippy, dippy. If you ask the miners, this is what they say. Yep, so that shaking causes the gold to start sifting through all of that material, and it's getting buried underneath everything. So gold is about 20 times heavier than water, and then if you think about lead, it's about 11 times heavier than water. So gold is much more dense, and that's why it's working when it's getting shaken like that, getting buried underneath everything, so it's safe enough to do this dippy part. So after that shaking's done, you drain off the water like that, and then you're going to hold a 45-degree angle. I usually gauge it if the last of that water is kind of getting caught in those ripples, and that's the right angle. And you're just going to dip, and then take it back out of the water. And it's going to be kind of scary at first, but I promise the gold is buried, it's safe, and it's not going out of the pan. I dip it 3 or 4 times, and then I'll add more water and then shake it down.
Shaky, dip.
Yep, exactly. And those are your main 2 steps. So the shaking, dipping, and you just repeat those 2 steps back and forth until you work it down to about a tablespoon of dirt. So this is shaky, shaky, dippy, dippy. And you can see that water's taking out even those big rocks. All right. I like to tap the pan to my hand sometimes when I get down to this last little bit. You don't have to do that, but if you want to try it out, you definitely can. I don't know if it really makes much of a difference, but it's definitely a habit I picked up. All right, I'm gonna take out any big rocks that are left in the pan by hand, but one key thing is to rinse them off in your pan, just in case a flake decided to settle on the side of it. And then you can put it in the jar. Or if you like the rocks, you can keep them. All right,
So I'm afraid of washing it out, so I need to be more vigorous with my...
I would say confident, not vigorous.
Okay.
So it's just when you go to dip it, letting that water take the rocks out as you take it out, because it's easy to try and catch it or not not let gravity help out. There you go.
Okay.
All right, so once you get it down to this last bit of dirt, you're going to start this final step. We call this back panning, which is actually a technical term. But you can see we're rocking the pan back and forth, and it's dragging down all of that lighter material, and all the gold just stays put at the top of the pan there.
Nice.
And then the most important step is collecting it.
A dry finger.
Dry finger. So those vials that they gave you, go ahead and fill those all the way up with water, and then you're going to take your dry finger, and just touch the gold flakes. It'll stick to a dry finger, and then you dip it into the water in your vial, and the gold will just come right
So I
off once
just
it
need to
touches.
get a close-up view. And there's the gold flaked at the top.
Yep.
How cool is that? Hope you get rich.
But yeah, that's how you do it.
All right. This is some serious business. Did you find enough, Roger, to finance our trip?
Not yet. Give me another pan.
Okay, I was almost there. I didn't know there was a step where you had to like do this back and forth.
Do this one last step where you're just gonna rock it.
I didn't know that was a step. You fill this up.
There it is, toe.
I saw specks. I saw specks.
Where are you guys listening from?
We're from northern India.
Okay.
We don't stay there much. Especially in the winter. You don't understand why.
Yeah, a shiny piece.
So there.
Wow, look at that. That might buy the 6-pack.
They say there's a sucker born every day. So if you find that stuff,
I'm still a few pans away from my cold fever.
You would hit it against the can.
that's why I'm not doing it. I don't get
It just feels weird watching all this run down.
I know,
You
that's
got
the
a shovel,
scary
you
part.
on Look.
So hold it up and let me see.
You can't see that.
Oh, I can see stuff in there.
Gold right at the top of the pan there. All that.
There, baby. There's your vial. You put your
Pour the
gold
water
in.
out there. And now you can collect those pieces.
There's a piece right there. With a dry finger.
Yep, it's dry finger.
Wipe it on Jesus' shirt.
I did.
Oh, okay, there you go.
All right. And I might be able to help. Let's get a little bit more of this dirt out of here, and then you'll be ready for that last step. Sometimes if you have a little too much dirt, the sand can drag the gold down too. You want it to be just
That's the step I'm forgetting.
that dipping.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to get. It feels very like, it feels like you're washing everything out of your pan.
Yes, it does.
Alrighty. So, now we've got,
I would say you're not even getting the
alright,
rocks
so go ahead and
out.
hold
so-
both sides of your pan there.
Okay.
And then we're just gonna rock back and forth. And so you're using the water to drag the sand down your pan, and then the gold will stay at the top.
She's already gotten quite a bit out of that pan.
Yeah,
There's still more. I'm richer now, honey.
And there you go. And then you just pour the water off that side. And you can collect that.
And don't dump your vial over.
I know, right?
We get all this gold. We can buy into this place.
There you go.
I'm not ready to move, honey. It's too cold up here.
Oh yeah, the winter times.
Right.
Weeding out all the rocks. Huh?
Be aggressive with the dip.
Hey, you're the photographer. You're not the doer here. You're not the miner.
I've been listening to her over and over again. I think I know my stuff.
Just ask her. She'll tell you.
You got all the gold.
Well, we ain't sure just yet.
Oh, that looks like a real nugget there on the lip.
Right there?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
He donated his gold to Gita to have a necklace made. This young lady is the happy proprietor. That is a nugget that she actually found, and this is her little gold mine. Time to go downtown. When you hear the town Fairbanks, Alaska, you think it's a big city. It is surprisingly small. Downtown Fairbanks has 3 main streets, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd Street. And it is actually, according to our tour guide, a town that just accidentally happened. There was a shyster, I guess, called E.T. Bartlett. In 1901, he got basically kicked off a riverboat because he kept lying about what was up ahead. And anyway, thus, long story short, the town of Fairbanks happened. And according to the tour guide, it has boomed and failed many times between the gold rush and oil, and now tourism is rebounding. But anyway, this is a cute little park right in downtown Fairbanks on the Chino River. It is really amazing to me that it gets down to about 60 below zero here in the wintertime, but yet by June there are lilacs and beautiful flowers blooming everywhere. It's amazing how it recovers from the harsh cold, but they also have about 22 hours of sunlight this time of the year, so it is good growing season, but she said it's only about a 90 day growing season, so they really have no agriculture here. These beautiful pictures were of a church that was actually moved to this location from somewhere inland. This is Fairbanks, Alaska, as seen from the Chena River, C-H-E-N-A. There are only about 33,000 people who live here year-round, and 30,000 workers who come in just for the summer season. Okay.
I guess they had a little bit of water in 1967.
Wow. That would have covered all the banks. What does it say?
Doesn't give a foot.
And they have recently
6 feet.
changed that bridge to a concrete bridge because it used to be wooden, and the ice floating down the river would destroy it every year. They would have to rebuild it. So now it's made of concrete. The Discovery Riverboat will be one of the highlights of your trip to Alaska. Don't miss this one. It is truly an amazing and unique experience. We got to this tour at the very last minute, so I didn't have time to introduce it before we went on the boat tour, but if you are in Fairbanks, Alaska, you want to take time to take the Discovery boat tour.
Discovery.
Julie! We were on the Discovery 2.
3.
Or 3. But anyway, it's a 3-hour tour. It is excellent. I think it was like $90 per person. and I would definitely pay that again. They did all kinds of extra stuff that you would not expect. And Roger and I have been on boat tours
At least 3 others.
Savannah, Louisville, and St. Louis, and nothing at all like this. It was spectacular. So you're going to enjoy the video footage that we have. I'm probably going to have to cut it all to pieces to get it all in, but it was amazing.
Sometimes it's just a tiny little lake surrounded by tall trees, and you can't make a nice gradual descent, so the slip is kind of part turn, part dive, and it'll just corkscrew it right down to get it close to the surface, whether that's water or... Again, the plane is out there behind us by the pump house coming back in. And when it flares, the pilot can't see the water. So this last bit is done by use of the horizon and a lot of feel. Well executed as always. You know, 1 out of every 80 Alaskans is a licensed pilot. And we get to visit with this one since he's a friend of ours and kind of see how everything went. We'll just give him a sec to change channels. Piper 80 Alpha Discovery 3, how do you read? Loud and clear this morning. Thank you. Nice to see all of you. Reported this afternoon again. You know, it looks the same this time of year, doesn't it? So it's kind of easy to forget. Well, we've got good coffee on our end, and it seems like a great day to fly. How are your conditions there, Chris? It's a beautiful day. We had a nice breeze from the south, so it's nice and beautiful, and a nice short landing today because of that breeze. You know, I was going to say, you're really showing off the capabilities of the Super Cub short takeoff and landing. And this is by far the most popular bush aircraft. Although there are other alternatives, why do you suppose nobody likes downgrade? Well, this is a highly versatile airplane. He obviously went on close today, and we put this thing on 800 times to go out to gravel bars in the fall and spring, and then we use skis in the winter time to explore all the backcountry of Alaska, where there's runways in all directions. Well, still though, now we're talking about something that's 1930s and 40s technology, and you don't see that on the roads very often. Yet, you're pretty content to trust your lives to it in the sky. And now it's the aircraft flying, especially getting underneath. You know, it's a pretty cool airplane. Mine only weighs about 1,100 pounds. It's skinny little metal tube to the frame. A fabric coating, about like your bed sheets. In fact, we had a story in the news not too long ago. A couple of guys took one of those Super Cubs out fishing on a very remote lake. And while they were on the water, a bear caught wind of the scent of the bait they had left in the back of the plane and shredded the whole back half of it. Tore through it like a
The audio on this wasn't great, but this was really a cool demonstration.
How early in the life of a little puppy does that process actually begin in any significant way? Well, you know, JR, the process starts the day they're born, because we have what we call the lifetime relationship of trust and be trusted, which means, of course, when we're home, they're trusting in our care and guidance, but when we're out on the trail, we have to also trust in their instincts and abilities, so it's important that that relationship starts on the day they're born. So what we'll do is pick up, as you can see, the puppies, hold them in our hands, hold them in our hands, and even though their eyes aren't open for the first 10 days of their life, they have a highly developed sense of smell, and they can associate a feeling of comfort and security with us. So by the time they can run around a little bit, they already know us, they trust us, and they want to follow us on adventures, which gives us, as you can see, a perfect opportunity to help them develop their self-confidence, which we do by challenging them, as you saw, to overcome obstacles.
They just turned that big old boat around in the middle of the river, pulled right up to the shore, which there's no real dock there. Put down big docks and let about 300 people out on shore. Words of wisdom: always take a picture with your sister.
Here you can see an example of a full-size bull moose. His name is Bruce. He was taken just north of us in the White Mountains and has a trophy-sized 73.5-inch rack. Because the moose were very important to the Athabascan people, while caribou travel in herds, the moose are solitary. So the Athabascans became very skilled at calling the moose. One way to do so was by scraping a shoulder blade from a previous kill up against a tree, like Leo will show us. Isn't she a skilled hunter?
Here I come.
An Athabascan, Yukon-style women's winter parka. And it is all traditional, except for that big zipper running right down the front. That's just there so that we can take it on and off on our hot summer days. But traditionally, it would just be sewn together and worn pullover style. Now the body of this parka is beaver fur and has been sheared for design. It has then been trimmed with calfskin, river otter, and then timber wool. Now if you get ready, she'll show you all the sunshine ruff. The outer part of the ruff is timber wool, but sewn closest to her face is Wolverine. Now Wolverine's fur contains a natural oil that helps prevent frostbite. So any leftover pieces were always sewn closest to the face. Oh, all pieces were sewn closest to the face. If there were any leftovers, then they'd be sewn into these tassels like those up front, which are Wolverine fur tipped with timber wool. And she sewed those on so that her family had skilled trappers who brought home the tricky Wolverine. She's now going to turn around and show you the design on the back of the parka. Beadwork and skin sewing designs passed down from one generation to the next, and every family has their own traditional design. So for example, the artist who made this parka is Dixie Alexander from Fort Yukon, and this is her family's wild rose pattern. And if you were to travel from her village, they could tell exactly where she was visiting from just by looking at the design on the back of her parka. Thank you, Maya.
These are called reindeer because they are domesticated caribou. And they're in the middle of getting rid of their winter coats, so that's why they look so scruffy.
And we're moving.
Okay, we are headed for a authentic Alaskan salmon bake.
Choice.
Yeah. We'll take her fishing the next day.
You romantic.
It's a lot of fun. There's a lot. You get leftovers. But you yes, very good.
Okay, well, I'm not sure what the dark tunnel was about.
I guess watch your head, everybody. Better be daylight at the end of this thing.
I think there is. I know, right?
Guess she wasn't an employee.
Gold nuggets. Okay.
Huh.
Yeah. Well, isn't this kind of cool? Dinner choices were either a steak, which Roger had, or the salmon that I had, and I love the salmon. We just wanted to end our first day in Alaska by saying, wow, there was a lot on the agenda today.
Yeah. We started, I don't even remember. It was
We took a
not
driving
quite the
tour.
butt crack of dawn, but it was close.
Yeah. Well, at any rate, you'll see all the things that we have done today. The only thing I don't really have good pictures of is the Alaskan salmon bake. Honestly, by that time, I was kind of over it.
Yeah.
It was a huge, crowded area, very touristy, and not my favorite part of the day, but this has been really exhausting but wonderful day. So it's 9:30 at night, and you can see that the sun is still brightly shining. But I think we're about ready to call it a night. And,
Because we got to get up 5 o'clock tomorrow.
yeah, this tour is.
They're not relaxing, that's for sure.
Well, the land portion is not going to be relaxing.
I got to get my naps on a bus.
Well, we'll see you tomorrow.